I'm Jim, and I was a co-founder and head of research and development for an online women's clothing retailer. And we had a unique patented technology which would allow us to match a consumer to garments so that they would both fit and flatter the user. And we used the measurements of the consumer and the measurements of the garment, and as well as the body shape of the consumer and her personal fit and styling preferences. And in this way, we were able to create a shop that was just for her. So it only had the clothing that was guaranteed to fit her, and we also made recommendations as to what would flatter her. I would say we were facing 3 problems. But they all came down to one thing: scale. We were startup, and we were growing very rapidly. Classic hockey stick growth. And the company had been going for several years. And when you shoot out of the gate, you build fast, you make it work, you do whatever you need to do to get the business up and running. And we were very successful, growing very quickly. But as almost always happens with startups, you get to the point where your business has grown, your technology has grown, and your staff has grown. And you start to get to that point where there's layers of management. And so we needed help in scaling all of that: the business, the technology, and the internal processes with our employees. And Scorpion helped in all 3 ways. We heard about Scorpion through our VP of marketing, who had worked with Scorpion before. And so that's how we were introduced to Walter and Scorpion. Well, as far as business processes were concerned, Scorpion brought us the discipline of governance to the organization. And they really put in place a process where everyone had a say on the direction of the company, in prioritizing what we needed to do and in how we needed to do it. They came in and did the most thorough analysis of our technology, our systems. We had multiple systems. They went through it with a fine-tooth comb and made an assessment as to where it needed to be improved and made suggestions as to how to go about improving that. One real easy benefit is on the business side, the scaling of the business. They helped us with vendors. We had dependencies on a number of vendors, and we had contracts in place with those vendors. And through their assessment of our technology and the assessment of our business relationships with those vendors, we were able to eliminate some of those dependencies, and we were able to renegotiate with some of the vendors. And so that immediately brought great cost savings to the company. The biggest difference between Scorpion and other firms, 2 words: Walter O'Brien. Walter is incredible. He's one of the smartest people I've ever had the pleasure to meet. But also, in addition to Walter, are the other consultants that are available through Scorpion. Incredibly strong engineering talent in this company, depth of knowledge. They've run across the same kinds of problems and issues that our company faced. They've seen them before in different ways, but still essentially the same problems. So they are able to anticipate the solutions because they have helped other companies with the same sorts of issues. Well, it was fantastic. Walter was there whenever we needed him, and he did not leave any job undone. And he was very efficient about how he and his team worked with us. Nothing but praise. Yes, Scorpion consultants, very dependable, always meeting the timelines. Their estimates on how long it would take to do a particular job or a bit of a job were always spot on. They always were good at estimating how long it would take. And they were there whenever we needed them. Scorpion did react quickly to our needs, but not in a facile way. They reacted quickly, but they took their time to consider what our issues were, to examine all of the parts of those issues, and come back with processes and recommendations to address those issues. So the reaction was fast, but their consideration was thorough. Our situation improved almost immediately. Even as I told you, one of the main things that Scorpion did for us was to assess our technology. And even in the assessment process of our technology, we saw improvement because the assessment itself got us thinking about the technology in ways that we hadn't thought about it before. Scorpion was very helpful in improving the efficiency of our business processes and our product flow through our system. We were able to greatly increase the amount of product and the data around the product because our system was matching consumers to garments. It required having good data around each consumer and around each garment and every size of every garment, and that was very data intensive. And by improving our throughput process, we were able to pump much more garment data into our system at a faster rate, which allowed us to then get garments up on the site quicker, so that people had more garments in their shop and we were able to sell more. We were working with Scorpion. The cloud was a pretty new thing, and people were migrating from co-location facilities with cages cram-packed with servers and moving all of that to the cloud. And as I said before, we had a scalability issue because the company was growing so quickly, and we wanted to be able to make sure that we could handle the loads and spikes. And so getting into an elastic environment in the cloud was really important for us, and Scorpion helped lay the groundwork for migrating our technology. And a large part of that was making the technology implementation less monolithic and more modular, which then allowed you to scale, both vertically and horizontally in the cloud. Scorpion was instrumental in helping our company establish, for the first time ever, a governance process. We never had such a thing, and we'd gotten to a size and a head count and the need to put that in place. And so it was, Scorpion was instrumental in getting that governance in place, and it was great all the way around for the company because, as I said before, it helped the employees have a bigger say in the company with what we were going to do, and with prioritizing it was great. The company had gotten to a point where there was a change in management, and we found ourselves without a CTO. Our CTO had moved up into a CEO position, And so we were in need of a new CTO, but instead of rushing right out and hiring someone, we took advantage of Scorpion Consulting and bringing Walter O'Brien in as a kind of temporary interim CTO. And he was really excellent because he brought not only a deep knowledge of technology in general, but he had seen the same kind of issues that we were facing. He'd seen that in other companies. And so he was able to sort of shortcut to solutions and helping us get proper processes in place and reassessing our technology. So it was really excellent working with Walter and Scorpion as a interim CTO. It was just what we needed. We had relationships with a number of vendors, and we had dependencies on those vendors, and that was fine. But as we needed to rethink the structure of our technological systems, it became clear that we could streamline those dependencies. So we were able to get rid of some vendors, and we were able to renegotiate pricing with other vendors, and Scorpion was instrumental in helping us do both of those things. So immediately, with Scorpion's vendor management help, we were able to see cost savings right off the bat. It was very helpful to have Scorpion improve our QA process and our release management process. As is often the case with startups, you're building fast, you're building what you need now, and you're working instinctually, and you have a gut feeling that, oh, we should do this, so you go out and you build that, and that's great. That's what helps get a company up and running. But you get to a certain point of maturity where it can't be so seat of the pants, and you really have to bring a kind of discipline process to play in both your QA and in how your releases are staged. And Scorpion really helped us bring that kind of discipline to bear. And I think I know it improved the quality of the work, and it made the workload easier. We were actually getting better work done in a calmer fashion because of the improvements in our QA and our management of releases. We saw almost immediate improvement when Scorpion came on board. As I said before, one of the first things that Walter did was to conduct an assessment of our technology, a deep assessment of our technology. And that process alone, just assessing the technology, got us thinking in new ways. It gave us a new perspective on our own technological systems. And that bore fruit immediately.